Very good afternoon and welcome to Selinavea for day number 5 of the World Para-Alpine Skiing Championships. Slightly belated start here in Italy after some inclement weather, but we are raring to go as we start with the downhill racing on this magnificent course, which you are about to see very, very soon. We had 4 brilliant days in Kranjska Gora for the first half of the championships. Let's take a look back at what went down on the Slovenian slopes. Slopes have given us a little bit of everything over the course of the opening 4 days of the competition, from sunshine to snow to slips and slides, but most of all, some super skiing. In the standing categories, it was a case of Vive la France, as first magnificent Marie Bochet won 2 gold medals by a distance, imperious as ever. In the men's category though, for Arthur Bochet, well, in his own words, it was
just magic.
And it was a case of déjà vu for the Frenchman on day number 3, as once again, he was magic.
I did it again!
Bochet had spoken of a determination to improve upon his Paralympics performance in Pyeongchang. Another skier looking to do the same was the Netherlands' Jeroen Kampschroer. The Flying Dutchman, who was triple world champion in 2017, has roared back in Kranjska Gora this week after what he described as a sore Paralympic Games last year. The sit skiing category has been put on notice. He's back. As we look back at Kranjska Gora, we reflect on so many world-class performances. In the men's VI, Marek Kubacka of Slovakia was unstoppable on day 1, taking gold in the giant slalom, while Italian Giacomo Bertagnoli will arrive in his home country this week, already a world champion in the slalom event. As for the women's VI, Slovakia's Henrietta Farkasova did the double, but was pushed all the way by Australia's Mel Perrine. In the women's sitting, Japan's Momoka Muraoka took gold on day number 1 as the Paralympic champion forced the 2 German skiers Schaffelhuber and Forster into 2nd and 3rd. They both came back hard in a dramatic slalom race, however, with both surviving massive scares in the final throws to even make it to the podium, and it was Annalena Forster who grabbed gold in the end. 4 days of fabulous action in Kranjska Gora. What does Selinavea have in store for us? It's time to find out. A few days it was in Slovenia for those first half of the World Championships, joined now by our commentator from Kranjska Gora and indeed here in Selinavea, Alan March. And Alan, we saw some fantastic skiing all the way through the competition. 4 skiers who did the double, Arthur Bochet, Marie Bochet, the 2 French skiers going amazingly well, and Henrietta Farkasova and Jeroen Kampschroer. They're all the ones to beat heading into this second half of the competition, right?
Yeah, we do have a couple of different Paralympic champions here. So we've got Andrew Kirker in the men's sitting, so this could be an interesting one. This isn't the one that Jeroen would be expecting to get, however. Why not? Andrew Kirker had his birthday a couple of days ago, so he'll be looking to add a very nice World Championship present. Yeah, we've got Anna Schaffelhuber as well, so another not World Champion yet. However, she is a Paralympic champion, so that means she is a force to be reckoned with. And those 2 alone, just in those sections, will make our action a lot better.
And in terms of the venue here in Selinavea, we can see beautiful sunny day today. It was the same yesterday. They've been working round the clock to get this course ready in time. Just talk to me a little bit about what you can sense from the skiers here. Everyone, skiers, media, whoever you are, is just raring to go here.
Yeah, it's funny. I've just caught up with one of the Australian sit skiers, both the male and female Australian sit skiers. Just had a bit of a wipeout in the training run. Both are fine, and both are kind of like, yeah, it's kind of my fault, but it is a little tricky under the skis. It is a little slippy. The volume of snow was the issue. I tell you what, I will say, and this goes out to everybody out there, the guys and girls who work at this course here, and everybody associated with the IPC and the Alpine sport have worked tirelessly, and I mean tirelessly, clearing snow at midnight and 3 a.m. from various places. They have worked their backsides off to get this on, so let's race.
Yeah, absolutely can't wait for this one. Alan, I'm going to let you go off to commentary. Kick-off is moments away here in Slovenia. Here we go then, it is mere moments away on the slopes in Slovenia. You can see the skiers all getting ready behind me. They are raring to go, as are we. Get in touch on social media, at Alpine on all the usual channels, Instagram, Twitter and Facebook. Use the hashtag Alpine for more exclusive content and interviews as well. Cannot wait for this one. Day one of Slovenia is finally underway, and it's next.
Delayed start, but we are here. We are ready, and I'll tell you something, the athletes themselves are chomping at the bit to attack this course. Would you believe we've had a delay over the last few days because of snow? It hasn't snowed for the last 2 days. It's just started to snow now as we get towards our first event of the second half of these World Championships. The downhill from Slovenia is why we're all here. You can just about make out from that high up shot. The snow has started to come. It was a lovely sunny morning. It was very nice indeed in the opening hours. The training run had to be done this morning. The conditions on the snow were the problem. Feels colder than -1, I will tell you, having been stood out there with Stephen, but that is the official weather count for this part of the world. And as for the course, well, it's 1,723 very quick meters if you want to be the downhill champion of the World Para-Alpine Skiing Championships. Canine course. All 6 categories going in just one day. We'll start with the 3 women categories. We'll move towards the men's. We'll start more specifically with the women's vision impaired. Number 4 there on your list, Anna Peskova, struggled during the warm-up and the training run, so they've decided they're not going to run here. So it's just the 3. Coaches getting themselves a prime spot to watch on. Dutch, Great Britain amongst others, and it will be Great Britain that gets started. We'll start with Menna Fitzpatrick and Jen Keogh. Go then. We've waited an extra day or so to get these second half of World Championship racing underway. You might forgive a few of these athletes for being a little tentative when it comes to the course. It's the first race. A few of the athletes struggled during the training run, but not significantly enough for it to be called off again. This for the VI section is where the guide really becomes important. Men and Jen coming over the brow of that hill there. You can see the powder being sprayed everywhere, and that's how slippy it is out there at times. So the sit skiers during the training run having issues. Just 3 to come is my understanding. So Fitzpatrick, Vakasova and Gallagher with the chance of the medals. Millie Knight, who's recovering from injury, was the silver medal winner in Pyeongchang. Get well soon to Millie, as she'll be watching Mena come through the line. Time given as 1:16.09, so we get the start. The first run is without complication. Can't be said for the training run for Henrietta Farkasova, a fall before the very first gate, my understanding, in the training run, but she got up because she hadn't gone round the gate, so and she hadn't missed it, so she carried on. But these two are quick on any given day, and you can see that already. 1:64 the difference for Farkasova, guided as always by Natalia Subatova. Done the double so far in Kranjska Gora. Real side slide from Henrietta. Oh, she's gone off to the left. Now, will she try and get back on course? She was ahead. Well, she's staying down, so that could potentially be an injury as well. There's a bit of a struggle here from Henrietta Farkasova, and a big shock in the opening stages. She seems to be struggling with something rather than just having gone off. So that does look like the end of the Slovakian, which means that Kelly Gallagher and Mena Fitzpatrick are now in a straight shootout to be a world champion, it would seem. Interesting developments at the beginning as Farkasova goes out. Just comes through that gate and then veers off to the left. She's always in control of that. We can only surmise at this point, so we won't. And there are the two ladies that currently lead, and they'll now be becoming more aware that Farkasova hasn't crossed the line. The snow starts to come again. A deluge on the night that everybody arrived here in Celle-Nevers, and it was widely known without really having to be said that the opening day was going to get delayed. There was so much of it, it just made it impossible. Cameramen and course groomers just up to their chest at parts of the course trying to see if it was doable. It clearly wasn't, so they are just clearing a delay. So the course just getting a little treatment of its own. You saw Henrietta Farkasova a moment ago down and sitting, and seemingly out of this World Championships. I can tell you that if you've been enjoying the action being brought to you by the IPC and the World Para-Alpine skiing team, then it doesn't stop at the end of the World Championships. Thankfully, 2 years worth of World Cup action is continuing to be brought to you. We'll be moving on from here to the next segment of that World Cup. Whilst we've been to Kranjska Gora for a World Championships, it was already decided that we would go there for a World Cup visit as well. So the 4th to 6th of February, that's exactly where we'll be. We move over to Vesona in Switzerland just after that. There's a short break. If Nordic skiing is your treat, then, well, you are in for one, because the Nordic World Championships being brought to you from Prince George in Canada by the IPC as well, so more stuff to look forward to. There's some people.
Absolutely
start the
famous.
World Cup campaign again after that, back in Ispo in Spain, that's in March. It continues to La Molina, also in Spain, and then the World Cup final itself is in Morzine in France. So we've been to Slovenia, we've been to Italy, we've still got Switzerland, Spain and France to come. As you could expect, a picturesque setting here in Salonovea. If you get a chance to come and go up on the gondola, then it's well worth the visit. There's a gondola you keep seeing in your shots from the bottom. There's a second once you get to the top of that, and the views from up there are absolutely stunning. I can tell you that. Feels like you're on top of the world. Not feeling on top of the world, my understanding here is that Henrietta Farkasova is actually going to be stretchered off, and that's big news for the rest of this World Championships, of course. Fitzpatrick and Gallagher, Pleskova not running today, and Mel Perrine is here. Hasn't gone today, but there you can see the stretcher coming. So obviously some difficulties for Henrietta Farkasova. We wish her a speedy recovery. She's done the double. She was aiming for the maximum, and that now looks in very serious doubt. Certainly not today, and whether she comes back for the remainder of this World Championships and indeed the World Cup as well. You can join us via the social media links, of course, on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter at Alpine. Due to time restraints for this event, which well, that was before we had the injury to Henrietta Farkasova. It meant that we weren't going to be able to bring you live interviews. A bit of waving in the background there. We weren't going to be able to bring you live interviews here from the mountain, but all of the winners will get interviewed, and those will be available, I'm sure, on social media links a little bit later on after we've finished. We'll also bring you the highlights of today with those interviews as well tomorrow during the broadcast, should the weather permit a second day, which as you can see, it's certainly closing in on us, and it's visibility wise I can't see the top of the cliff face in front of me out of my commentary position. So here you go. The delay not really affecting the American team. That is the boys Wood and Walsh having, well, far too much fun, quite frankly. Well done.
Perfect.
To the Americans for keeping themselves warm in any way possible. People often ask what the athletes get up to during the downtime when there's delays. Jesper Pedersen had been and bought himself an Italian Bible yesterday. I'm not even sure where he managed to get that from, but he turned up at dinner and said, I've been out and bought an Italian Bible. So there you go. Some of the guys have been playing on their games consoles. A bit of football. Host Stephen Jameson has been challenged by Jesper Pedersen and Tori Pendergast, actually. She's going to take on those guys at a bit of computer football later on. I was talking to Tori and to Jesper Pedersen yesterday. They were keeping themselves busy with their handheld devices as well. They got some games on the go that they were chatting away to. So the main hotel for this competition has table tennis, it's got pool, table football. So there's no shortage of things for them to do, but the honest answer is that they would all much rather be out on the snow winning medals than being stuck inside a hotel here in Salonovea. So unfortunately we have left you sitting around just like that chap there. And the maintenance of the course continues. Hopefully we can bring the action back in a matter of moments, but for now it's keeping warm. You see them huddling up together. Italian lady sandwiched in between two coaches there. For the VI skiers, the conditions this morning with the sun wouldn't have been so bad, but also now the snow is coming. That will affect any sort of wetness on the ski goggles. Chatting with Melissa Perrine over the last few years, telling you that once she has rain or snow on the goggles, that affects her vision even more so. Depth perception already difficult. Again, as we were talking at the beginning of the show, the 5 of the Paralympic champions in this event are here. One's already gone, of course. Henrietta van Gasseva has already gone down and is receiving medical treatment actually on the hill at the moment. So whatever it was innocuous as well. That was the sort of strange thing. You see the guys and girls, there's hot food being served here. That's not the team from Iceland, that just happens to be where the flag is, but these guys taking a bit of stew, I believe. Big sign that says not for commentators, they don't allowed any, but the guys at the bottom of the hill, outside the tent. Again, great work from the LOC, the local organising committee, and the guys and girls from the World Para-Alpine Skiing Organisation to even get this course in shape. Now this is Henrietta van Gasseva into this right-hander. Seems okay here. Takes a big side slide. I mentioned that in commentary, and then through this next gate just can't continue, and that is, well, that is innocuous. I know that she had a little accident in the training run. So whether she's done something in that training run, thought she could go through it, and it's different once you're down, you don't know. Well, the Slovakian coach is having a chat with Menna Fitzpatrick there. I'm sure those two now know more than I do, because the coach, I'm sure, will have just told them what on earth is going on. But yeah, going back to the guys and girls that work here at the mountain, I know that a few days ago they were having to go out at midnight and 3 a.m. to clear snow from the tents and buildings at the bottom of the mountain to keep it safe. So there's no lack of dedication from these guys here. You can see more of it going on now, laying out the extra fencing that's required, but they've been on the slopes doing what they can, cutting into the mountain, cutting into the snow, removing it. Teams of people day in, day out to try and bring you this action, and well, unfortunately for them we've had a delay straight away due to an injury, but that's nothing that anyone could have foreseen. The start gate remains empty. Kelly Gallagher will have the difficult job of trying to keep warm up there. She's the next. You can see the cliff face, the back of that shot. You could see the top of it earlier on. That shows you the weather coming in and changing. Once again, if you just tuned in, a slight delay due to an injury to the second run of this session. Henrietta van Gasseva and her guide Natalia Subotova. Van Gasseva pulling up around about a quarter of the way, maybe halfway down the course. Innocuous, yes. Painful, it seemed it. Enough to be stretchered down and delay proceedings significantly now. These two have been stood waiting to see if Kelly Gallagher can usurp them from top spot. And sadly there you can see the stretcher coming down, so we will have the delay some more as they make their way down the mountain as safely as they can, and so a big thank you to the medical services that are on offer here in Selenovea. You can see the guide Natalia Subatova bringing down her teammate Henrietta Farkasova's skis and poles, and that certainly is the end of the day, and potentially, of course, the end of the World Championships, trying to cram the action into 2 days as it is. You can't imagine that an injury that requires assistance off the mountain will be cured in time to go again tomorrow. There are some of the hard-working members of the IPC bringing you plenty of content. And a little wander down the mountain for that gentleman. It's cold out there for the photographers. Kelly Gallagher has been told to stand forward a little more, so she will be mightily relieved to start thinking about her journey down. Gallagher with guide Gary Smith. A long-term partnership, that. 33 now, Kelly Gallagher. Occupation as a statistician. Studier of mathematics at the University of Bath. That goes hand in hand, doesn't it? The simple story of receiving a ski Barbie when she was younger. Persuaded her father to take a detour during that family holiday to try the sport for the first time. She said we rocked up to a lesson and I instantly adored it. After several years of ski holidays, university friends said she should try the racing aspect of it, and when you become the first athlete in any sport representing your nation to win a gold medal at the Paralympic Winter Games, it seems like that ski Barbie was money well spent, doesn't it? With the gold in the Super G in 2014, hasn't managed to pick up a medal since then. That was her second game. Sochi wasn't an easy ride either. There were difficulties in getting onto the team. Towards the end of the World Cup, it was feared that she wouldn't make it. She certainly did. Picked up 4 finishes in the 4 races. 5th place in the giant slalom. Unable to pick off a medal that time out. She's got a host of medals at World Championship level as well. These two will be desperate to get started now. They'll have been up there so long. Approaching sort of 15 minutes that these two have now not been able to do a single thing. And Fitzpatrick went bang on 1 o'clock local time. We're now at 20 past. So again, if you're just joining us, a huge delay due to the injury of Slovakia's Henrietta Farkasova. In your picture is Great Britain's Kelly Gallagher and Gary Smith, her guide. And we are going to get back underway with the action. Thank you very much if you stayed all the way through that gap. Maybe you ran out and made a cup of coffee or tea. I should have done the same, to be fair. Away we go. Kelly Gallagher gets this World Championships back underway, and she has to get past her teammate Menna Fitzpatrick if she is to pick up the World Championship title. It's down to 2. Fitzpatrick 1:16.09 the time to beat. Farkasova had the quickest of the intermediate times at the first section. She was flying before that injury. Gallagher certainly wrapped up well. Slippy through there. 27.02 is what Gallagher's gone through at, but the chase is on here. A finish will give her second, of course, as there's only 2 remaining. She's well outside of the initial time. Again, you might be able to pick up the audio of the instructions from her guide using those Bluetooth headsets to communicate. A little wide through that section, just using the pole to push on for momentum once more, having slowed herself down. Now she's some 9 seconds behind Menna Fitzpatrick, but a successful run here will mean that she will finish in second. Menna Fitzpatrick is probably already starting to believe that she's a world champion. Gallagher into the final section towards the line. It is second for Gallagher and Smith. It's a 1-2 for Great Britain. Not the way they would have expected it to have gone this morning. The old saying, you've got to be in it to win it. And if you get to the bottom unscathed, that is exactly what happened. So Gallagher completes her run. It's Menna Fitzpatrick and Kelly Gallagher. No start for Peskova. Farkasova is injured and we wish her all the very best. But it's Menna Fitzpatrick who takes the title on 16.09 for Great Britain.
E passeremo al women downhill standing, alla categoria standing.
So we're into the women's standing event next. Ramsey, Boucher, Rothfuss, Pemble, Turgeon, Valinu and Honda. 7 in this event. Let's head up towards the start gate where those ladies will have 1 waited far too long in their own opinions and 2 will be very ready.
I can't believe I'm fully dressed. I'm such a psychopath. I see so badly.
See Kelly Gallagher enjoying herself. This is Maddie Boucher. I'll try and bring you an update on Alana Ramsey in a second. This is Maddie Boucher, who already has the double. Boucher will be hoping to make all 5 medals her own. Boucher in the women's, Boucher in the men's. It's going very well in the standing for Team France. It's been confirmed that Alana Ramsey is a DNS, does not start, so that will complete the confusion for you. Boucher, never mind starting, she's on a flyer already. The rest of the ladies will take note. Boucher through the line, 105.02. It's quick. From the imperious Maddie Boucher, as Stephen Jameson called her a little earlier. Simply brilliant is one way of looking at it. You see the girls from the VI. Up to the top we go again. Andrea Rothfuss finished behind Boucher in Pyeongchang. Is that where she finishes the World Championships as well? We might have waited a while for the action, but now we're here. It will fly. It really will. These ladies, not so many of them
here competing, but they will make their way down this mountain very, very quick. 29-year-old from Freudenstadt. Already 1.75 seconds down. 2 more Canadians to come after this. Rothfuss staying safe, looking simple and clever enough through these gates. No real dramas for Germany's Rothfuss. She's pulled it back by 1/10 through the second section. Is there enough speed to make it even closer through the bottom section? Flying through the cameras. No, really dropping in that bottom section. 1:10.88. It's a big difference towards the bottom of the run. Rothfuss goes second. Big opportunity for the 2 Canadian ladies here, Pemble and Turgeon. I saw the emotional scenes from Fred Turgeon in Kranjska Gora. This is Mel Pemble. Just the use of the ski pole in the left hand for Mel. A chance to claim a World Championship medal. There's a real open door here. It's for one of these 2 Canadians, you feel, to ski through it. See the work in the legs of Pemble. Her impairment is cerebral palsy. For those with that, they really have to fight in the lower half. Certainly for Mel on that right side. Originally born in Lytham St Anne's. It's been over in Canada for almost a decade. Pemble going steady, tucking herself in nicely to try and gain as much speed through the sections where she can. She'll now hear the bells that are ringing at the bottom, the cowbells. She's some 12 seconds off the lead, but is it quicker than Turgeon will go? That is now the gamble. 1 more Canadian, 1 Romanian, 1 Japanese skier. All of those could affect the standings. This is Frédéric Turgeon. If you were watching the first half of these World Championships, you'd have seen the tears and the embrace between Turgeon and Bochet as Frédéric picked up her first World Championship medal, dedicating that run to her father, who sadly passed away at the end of last year. She said, when I'm skiing, I feel like he's watching me, so that means I'm with him. And those real emotional scenes in Kranjska Gora. Can she replicate another medal? 1.57 would suggest that she's on pace, but it's hard work out there for the single leg skiers, and Turgeon spraying the side of that course as she makes her way around that bend. 49.89 at the next intermediate. How quick is Turgeon going? Just outside, 0.85 now. Has Turgeon got something else in this bottom half? We saw Rothfuss get close to Bochet in the opening sections. It was the bottom where the French skier excelled. Turgeon into the final bend then, 105 has gone. A 111 for Turgeon, which will put her on the podium. Not far behind Andrea Rothfuss as well, so I'm sure Turgeon and her coaches will be looking at where that little bit of time was lost. Now this is Lara Bălieanu from Romania. down at the first intermediate, but so has everybody else when chasing a certain Marie Bochet. Liano towards the second intermediate now. Years old, resides in Munich these days. She was the first athlete in any sport to represent Romania in a Paralympic Winter Games back in 2010 when she competed in the Alpine in Vancouver. So she was all about setting firsts at all. 1:12.78, that's not far outside of a medal position. This could be her best ever performance if she's gone into fourth here, which I think she has. This will be Laura's best ever finish at a World Championship, so well done. If that is the case, if Ami Hondo is quicker, it will equal the Romanian's best ever finish. But Ami Hondo on the course now, the final of the standing athletes to go. Again, not up to pace through the first section. Getting really low and driving those skis into each of these bends. 22-year-old. Born without fingers on her left hand, so hence the use of the ski pole only in the right. Comes towards the line. Oh, this could be a surprise. 1:11.06. That should put her in third. It does. Ami Hondo with a massive performance, and look at the shock on her face. Oh, she's delighted. Shocked for a moment, and then the smile came. She can't wait to get out of there and go and confirm with somebody. But Ami Hondo was the last of the athletes to come and has stolen a place on the podium by 0.5 of a second. Well, Hondo into third, Roftus with second, and Marie Bochet. It's a hat-trick at World Championships already with two to come, maybe two to come. Ami Hondo. That's the story of the day so far. Here's the women's sitting category then, the final of the women's categories. Annalena Forster, Mary Stevens, Paralympic medalist, Mamoka Muraoka, also Paralympic medalist, he was the silver winner. They all followed Anna Schaffelhuber down.
In attesa dello start,
Thank you.
in Wartung der Start für Women Down.
As we look down, we'll be going back up in just a moment to the starting gate. 7 athletes to come.
Und wir haben zwei.
So we're a matter of seconds away from restarting and getting the women's sit ski event underway. There's the gentlemen of the sit ski event. They're watching it on the big screen. Annalena Forster is away. Chance to set the first time, and with tricky conditions, getting down and finishing is what you need, because it then just adds the pressure on everyone else. So Annalena Forster gets to set the first time. She'll come into this right-hander, and this is really slippy through there, but Forster holding on, finding the grip that was needed. And I believe we're going to have some hairy moments in that old section. There's a few of them. Sam Tate took a hefty visit to the nets earlier on as well. Australian was fine. Tori Pendergast, who goes in bib 16, took a tumble as well. She said, I've got a bit of a sore neck, but we'll be fine. Being fine is Forster, 1:10.03.
Primo tempo utile, quindi 1 minuto e 10.03 per Annalena Forster. Now we have it start the Laurie Stephens from
Is the
USA,
first time,
United
as you saw,
States of
Forster has
America with number
a few sections of that course that will prove tricky, not just to her, but to everyone.
started.
Laurie Stephens from Beverly, Massachusetts, 34 years of age. Been a para swimmer previously. Now swapping one form of wet stuff for another. Not far outside Stephens. Former Paralympic champion, of course. This lady has plenty of history and heritage in the sport. 2 golds in her first Paralympic Games. Downhill being one of those. A world title in 2013 in downhill as well. Can she get close to Annalena Forster through the second intermediate time? No, dropping to 1.29, losing nearly a second through that second section. Into the bottom they go. Stephens to put pressure on Forster, the bronze medal winner from Pyeongchang. Trying to pick the right lines, trying to find the speed. 1:10.03 is going to be gone. And Stephens has to wait and see if she will be podium bound at these World Championships.
12:89, second place for Laura Stephens.
Stephens doesn't go into the leader box. Annalena Forster keeps that position for how much longer? Mamoka Muraoka. Paralympic champion. In the giant slalom. Muraoka will be looking to add world titles. Going well. Taking the frame of the mono ski. All of these things are very much different. No 2 mono skis are exactly the same. Everybody's preference is different. Now 0.46 the difference. Annalena Forster really has gone and put herself into a difficult spot to get past. 1:10.03, it's gone. Forster will stay top, and Oka goes second. Can the Paralympic champion displace her teammate at the top of the leaderboard? We're not going to have to wait long. This is Anna Schaffelhuber, champion in the downhill, champion in the Super G. Forster won 2 of the other golds in Pyeongchang, and Schaffelhuber do the Paralympic and World Championship double. She's inside. 0.27 though. We've seen people struggling in the bottom. Saw it in the women's standing. We've seen it in the women's sitting. Can Schaffelhuber manage the bottom of the half of this course better than the rest? 25-year-old. Reigning world champion. Bronze in 2015. Gold the next time out, last time out in Televisio. Gold in Pyeongchang, and she has stretched the lead to 1.5. Germany on course for a 1-2. Schaffelhuber looking dynamic as she comes in towards the final two gates and the line. 108.54, 1.49 the difference between Schaffelhuber and Annalena Forster. And at the moment it's Germany 1 and 2 with 3 to come. Isn't often without a smile as well, and she's driving into that bend, but she's staying in the course here and crashed out this morning in the training. Said she had a stiff neck, but she said she'd been struggling with that throughout the World Cup as well. Well, since arriving to the World Championship, should I say. So Cory Pendergast will carry on here. Doesn't go off the course there and stays on it this time as well. That is the sharp right-hander a moment ago that really is difficult. You see how bumpy it is for these ladies on just the single ski, and down goes Tori. The netting doing the job, but she will be gutted to have gone down here. And the Australian finds herself in the nets. Look, it gets really bumpy there, doesn't it? And she just tries to turn back to her right side here. Manages to keep it in the course, and then down it goes. Just trying to get inside that left-hand side gate. She went inside it, to be fair to her, but just the effort required to get inside meant that she went down in doing so. So out goes Cory Pendergast. There's the two German athletes chatting away to each other. The ladies and gentlemen down the bottom end are certainly having fun with the camera guys.
Valerie, wir haben die gesehen. Viel Spaß, ha?
So 2 more to come. In fact, Anna Beninati is not going to start for the United States of America, so we're actually just 1 athlete away from completing the women's sitting. So as it stands then, Schaffelhuber, Forster, Muraoka, Barbara van Bergen is the only athlete yet to come. There are some repairs being made to the course, is my understanding, so whilst they happen, just another short delay.
Alone the Victoria Pendergast.
The snow itself seems to have stopped, so that's one good thing.
Applause.
Good job, Victoria. Waiting and enjoying themselves. Again, for extra content outside of the live streams, you can follow all of the social media channels at Paralpine is what you need. The World Paralpine Skiing Championships here, the second half of these championships, this time in Selenovea. Big welcome if you are just joining us. A couple of delays so far, not only to the competition, of course, we should have been running yesterday, but we weren't. Got to keep the athletes safe, so the decision was made not to put them at danger. And I can tell you that that was a decision that was greeted warmly by all the coaches and teams. It was a unanimous decision.
2 athletes more to end the women downhill sitting
Chats at
category.
the bottom.
And the next will be the men downhill visually impaired.
You see the snow and clouds just forming the very highest heights. But luckily conditions so far today have been favourable for racing action. So just a few seconds to go before we get back underway. I mentioned if you were tuning in for Anna Benanati of the United States, he's not going to go in the women's sitting. So we'll move directly to the last athlete on the list, the oldest of the athletes in the women's sitting, Barbara van Bergen. Summer Paralympic medal winner in wheelchair basketball and a winner at World Championship level at wheelchair basketball as well. From court to course, can Van Bergen put in a time to topple the top 3 as it stands? Schaffelhuber, Forster, Muraoka, 1:11.33, just 2.79 seconds separates Muraoka's 1:11.33 and Schaffelhuber's winning time at the moment, 1:08. Van Bergen going quickly. Look at the drive into that turn. 0.28 inside. Is there a big surprise? Ami Hondo's face was a picture when she got over the line in third. Has Barbara van Bergen got something special here? 49.46 through the next section. No, just outside now. 0.46, but is there something that she can give? Oh, big sidewards. And Van Bergen now has to try and pick up momentum again, chasing down on that third place time. 1:08.54 is going to disappear. 1:11.33. Oh, it's gone as well. 1:12.43. What an effort that is from Barbara van Bergen. And she will know in her heart of hearts, one big mistake. Yeah, she just wraps those outriggers around the front of her monoski. She knows. Yep, she knows. Well, we all know Anna Schaffelhuber has won it. Alanina Forster takes the silver. Muraoka will take the bronze in the women's downhill competition. Barbara van Bergen with a big sideways cost herself just too much, and she was 1.1 second outside of Muraoka's time. One mistake can be costly, as it proved there. Well, heed the call, more action to come. They used to ring a bell for dinner where I went to school, but apparently they blow a horn here. There you go. We're into the men's events. I have no idea. Into the men's events now. The men's VI, of course, the vision impaired athletes to come. This is the only one of our races today where the Paralympic champion isn't present. Get well soon, Matt Marcoux. He and Jack Leach crossing the line first in the VI competition in Pyeongchang. Taking an injury break is Matt. He's got a change of guide as well. Now he's picked up an injury, so it's a slow start to life after Pyeongchang for Matt Marcoux. I'm sure he'll be paying attention to the action here in Saint-Lambert. Miroslav Hareus will be first to go. Two Slovakians are scheduled to go first. Hareus and then Jakub Krakov. No, Kranjska here, the winner of one of the golds in Saint-Lambert. The other winner, or in Kranjska Gora, should I say, the other winner was Bertrand Mignoli. So he goes third in our start list. we are, at the top, waiting to go. Miroslav Hareos, his guide is Maros Hudik. Again, for those of you who've not witnessed VI skiing before, guide used, denoted by that large G on the front and back of Maros Hudik. Communication is through a Bluetooth headset. Right, we're going to get a slight delay here, a little technical fault. So, timing system not quite ready for action, despite everybody else being ready for action. These guys will get themselves away at the next possible time. So again, going back to the instructions on how it I as the sit skiers chat through Van Bergen. Yeah, you can see her trying to explain it. And she will be dissecting that race, I'm sure, when she watches it back. Just a slight pause. Miroslav Hareos is waiting. The guides take the athlete down. There are 3 classifications within the vision impaired category, B1 to B3. Those athletes who are classified as a B3 have the highest visual acuity of the lot. Those in B1, they're very little or none, and tend to go with blacked out goggles. The dynamic Dutchman there, 3 of them, waiting to go in the men's sitting event. Floris Meijer, Niels de Langen and Jeroen Kapsteur. All of them, I'm sure, wanting to take medals. Jeroen Kapsteur will expect to take a medal. There's Jen Keogh and Menna Fitzpatrick beating the chest. Well, they beat everybody else, so why not? Victory in the opening part of the day. And, so those 2 happy. Some dye being replaced in parts of the course. As we've seen, the snow is very soft, so when the athletes are coming around, there you can see him, look. You wonder where all the blue rinse comes for those old ladies' hairs. It's not the same. Well, there you go. The lines being replaced. There's the Poland team. Sikorski looking on. He's in good spirits. Felt a little bit ill during the World Cup in Zagreb at the beginning of the season, but by all accounts he's much better now. As I say, the wheels of this tour bus continue after these World Championships, of course. Kranjska Gora for the World Cup next. Velasca in Switzerland after that. A little break until we resume again in March then at Ispot and La Molina in Spain, and we finish the World Cup in Morzine in France, back end of March. All the coverage being brought to you this year by Alpine Paraskiing and the IPC. Hopefully you're enjoying the coverage, of which my understanding is those 2 are going to get us going again in just a second.
Slovakian pair, Miroslav Hareos and Maros Hudik. Noch ein paar Sekunde, hoffe ich mir, zum nächsten Start.
Course repairs are done. There you are, you see. Make a chair. That's how you do it. Velasca is away. We're into the men's vision impaired category. We're into the second half of the day. The women have been and shown us how they do it. It's time for the men to make their way down the mountain as well. Reus. He's wide there, and just another example of why some of the blue dyers had to be replaced in parts to get wide. Hard there though, and oh no, into the left-hander, and down goes the Slovakian. Miroslav Reus is at the bottom of that net, just there. We'll wait and see.
Alla fine di un'azione molto buona in cui sembravano veramente
Well, there's the guide.
scendere molto veloci.
Looking on, and he's well, hands either side.
Mauro Skudik, la guida si è fermata, sta aspettando. Non abbiamo immagini tali e fresche da poter valutare la gravità del momento, ma speriamo. Gli sci comunque si sono staccati, le reti di protezione hanno fatto il loro dovere.
Well, the unlucky guy is Maros Hudik. He's looking on. There's some of the sit skiers at the bottom. Wait, they'll be making their way to the gondola in a moment, just in the side, and so there is Reus, so he's fine. Reus is up and okay. Well, good that Reus was able to ski away from that. It looked quite spectacular, but I'm sure he doesn't agree with that. We'll try and bring you a replay of that a little bit later if we can. However, we should be moving on to Jakub Krakow in a matter of moment. So while we wait for the start of the second Slovakian, we can go back and take a look at the first. He got wide into this right-hander, and then coming here, turning into his left, he just overcooked it, didn't he? Down he went. Yes, it looked spectacular. The skis went everywhere, but it was more of a stumble than anything else, and Miroslav Reus got himself up and away. Well, that leaves just Jakub Krakow. This could be a bad day for Slovakia in general here, and Vlkasova going down in the women's VI. No medal in that one, and the first of the two Slovakians going in this event. And that would leave Martin Franze in the men's standing, who is a real outsider in that one, it has to be said. So Slovakia don't often finish a day without a medal. There's Troy Pendergast on the left-hand side, clearly okay with her slide out. She's chatting away with Barbara van Bergen as we get ready to go. Absolutely no idea why there was some snow put on the back of the neck of Jakub Krakow as we left there. New things I see all the time, but Krakow is away. Branislav Rossman is his guide. We're none from one so far in the men's VI event. This is Krakow. He's slower than Herreros through that section. Oh, and another wide turn to take. Again, the guides and the athletes will have spoken about every single part of this course, where you want to go. This is where first Slovakian left us, and fortunately for Krakow, his struggles weren't as real as he carries on. These two are quick. They might have been behind, but they've got to the line. 1:02.55. The first Slovakian of the day to make it to the line out of the first three. One more to come in Martin Franco, as I say, in the standing. No, so a big opportunity for Bertagnoli, a silver medal winner in the Super G, a bronze medal winner in the downhill, and double gold as well during the Paralympic Games. Already a world champion. Took one of the 2 days in Kranjska Gora to do that. He's got to work hard to beat what he did in Tarvisio. He's got one. He got one there. 5th in the downhill on that occasion. He's behind Herreros' time, but again, it's not about Herreros now, it's about Krakow. Those first 2 intermediate times now will mean very little on your screens, because the man that set them both is out of the competition. Bertagnoli, 1:02.55, it's going to be tight, it's going to be quick, 2.27. In fact, he was very, very slick over the final section. Oh, and he knows it. A whoop at the end, and he and his guide, Fabrizio Casal, have enjoyed that. Kevin Burton from the United States.
Keep it up a little bit high. All right, rolling in.
Again, second behind Herreros, but we can't take too much into it. Herreros going down just after the second intermediate time. Find a podium performance. 26-year-old from Denver. 1:28. He's outside of the big shadow finish from his guide Kurt Grimmelman.
3 secondi e 72 nei confronti della coppia Bertagnoli-Casal. The next pair to start from Australia, Patrick Jensen and the Zelio Ford. Already on the slope.
Jensen from Australia next. Zali offered
holding back a little bit.
his guide. Just heard Patrick say I'm holding back a little bit.
Later, then
Conditions
the pair Bertagnoli-Casal.
for each athlete will be different. Patrick really driving in to those turns. You can see his guide, Zali,
Come into the double.
taking a look back,
Yep.
shouting the instructions all the time. Patrick there just saying, yep. He's hearing, he's understanding. He's following. This is where we lost Herreros. No such harm for Patrick Jensen. This bottom section is tricky as well.
And now we are going to follow the last part of the slope.
And to the line. Well, 1:11.07. Patrick Jensen, it puts him in 4th position. So outside of the medals, just 3 to come. Josef Lana is one of those.
Josef Lana mit Franz Erharter.
Despite being fairly new, he and partner Franz Erharter already got a couple of bronze medals in their opening World Championships. 36-year-old doing well. Block outside Herreras this time. Now that is quick. Into this right-hander. He is looking very, very good. Josef Lana. Have Austria got a surprise package here. Time to beat from Bertagnoli. 60.28. Oh, he's going to miss out on that, but it's another medal opportunity for Josef Lana. Oh, the Austrian has burst onto the VIC. He really has. 2 bronze in Kranjska Gora. He's looking good with 2 to go. Tadeusz Chris. Chance for the Czech skier. At the moment, one good performance might mean that Slovakia miss out on a medal in this event as well. This would be unheard of. Krakow's time, 1:02.55. Tadeusz Chris. Too shabby. Final section, it's too much for Chris to hope for a medal from here on in, but a finish nonetheless for the Czech athlete, which leaves us with just 1 to come by my pieces of paper.
In partenza l'ultima coppia, I francesi Thomas Savard.
He's ready to go. I'm not sure the technical side of the race is ready to go, so Thomas Savard and Cohen Lemay. Lemay on the right-hand side. Yeah, they're just telling the 2 athletes to just hold on a second. So they'll be ready in a matter of moments. So those 2 just got to hang around for a second or so. Just 17, Thomas. Might have been on the circuit a little bit quicker if it wasn't for a rather bad injury to his right shoulder in 2016. Younger brother, also a para skier. Been at junior national level in France, Enzo. The drive for Thomas is to make it to Beijing in 2022. Struggles more with his right eye than he does his left. And that is what his guide is there for. Corin Lemay. Savard is away then, the final athlete in the men's standing. Can he topple the Italian Bertagnoli? When Bertagnoli was a youngster, he was the one surprising everybody. He's well inside Herreras in the opening section. Are we on for a big, big performance from Thomas Savard? That was a huge opening section from the young Frenchman. But then he's well outside at the second. And he's very wide here, very, very wide, and really has to get inside the course at the very last second, and that will have cost him all manner of time. In fact, he's well outside already now. And what an opening section that was from Savard. Just goes to show you one mistake can be so costly. You saw Lamé just throw his arms up towards the end of the run, and a shake of the head a little bit from Thomas as well. Well, he's only 17, he's certainly got some speed. I'm sure he will be back to fight again for one of those medals at future World Championships. But for now, these two will stay where they are. They'll get a chat with Stephen Jameson, our host, in a few moments. Don't forget, if you want to follow at Alpine on all the social media channels, you can see those interviews a little bit later on. But for now, that's the finish of the men's VI. We move on to the two large competitions, but well done to Bartagnoli, Lana and Krakow. Large competitions in terms of entry numbers. I should be clear, the men's downhill standing event is coming next. The Austrian flags are flying. Markus Salka, bronze medalist at the Paralympic Games. Christoph Schneider going. Niko Prijancic. So Austria well represented in this one. Mitch Gawley on the list as well. Artur Bauchet, it's been magic, as he said in his own words, so far. But we will start with Japan's Hiraku Misawa in just a matter of moments. Theo Rimmer, the Paralympic champion, is with us. Bauchet and Salka finishing behind Manuel Bourdin. We'll go last. There's Markus Salka in print. We'll see him in person in a few moments. Salka will be fifth to go according to the running order. So again, just a matter of moments, the scarf going on. Well, it should go on, it's just being held. So, there we go. That's the person making the noise with the cowbell. The Swiss section of support, certainly very happy. In fact, we skied with these folks at the top of the mountain yesterday, and they asked us where the competition was taking place, so we told them and they've turned up. Look at that, that's the magic of communication. So we're going to go into a quite a lengthy delay here. There's some work that's being made and being done, should I say, on the course. So we are going to go into a fairly lengthy delay. So there's an issue with timing that's being sorted. The course maintenance, as you can see, also being done. Some of the loose snow being moved away, but it's unfortunately slow and painful. keep yourselves nice and warm. I'm sure you're all watching indoors. Action will resume in a matter of moments. We're hoping to go down and have a chat with Stephen Jameson in a few moments' time as well. We initially weren't going to speak to him much at all because the gaps were shut down because of the length of competition. However, with the delays we've now had, it means that we can perhaps get a chat with Stephen and figure out what is going on down his end. This is a very happy Josef Lana picking up another medal at a World Championships. What a debut he's having. He's a cheerful kind of guy. See some of the maintenance taking place, the blue dye being added once again. Again, if you are sticking with us, apologies for the delay. If you're a skiing enthusiast, then you'll know that this just happens sometimes. The course took a lot of work to get ready for competition to make it safe. However, it needs a little bit of running work as well, so we'll come back to the action when all of that is completed. See the cable cart that takes the athletes up to the top. We are going to go downstairs and speak to Stephen Jameson. He's got one of our winners currently with him.
Thank you very much. Well, joined by our two winners, guys. A huge congratulations. Downhill champions in your home country as well. Giacomo, what does that mean to you?
It means that today we skied very well, and I'm so happy because in downhill it's not so easy. We tried today, this morning, first time this skis here, and we were sure we could do very well. So we did it, and nothing. I don't know. Yeah.
Fabrizio, I was speaking to you a little bit before and you said this might be the best run you guys have done in 2 years. How good was it for you?
Oh, yes, definitely, and it was amazing because in Italy, world champions got a win in downhill. We have not got it before. It was so awesome.
And in terms of being in your home country, just behind the camera here are loads of your friends ready to give you a massive hug. What does it mean to you to win a gold in your home country like you did a couple of years ago?
It's cool.
Is it a little bit more special? A little bit more special to win it in Italy at your home?
Yeah, why not? Why not? Of course. It's great because when you arrive to the finish line, you see the people around. Yeah, great. You ski very well, so I'm happy.
And what about?
I don't know what to say. Yeah.
And what about the run itself? Because you guys were down on time in the first two intervals and then flew down the final section. Did it feel really quick when you were finishing?
Yeah, very quick. So,
guys, congratulations! A huge win for you. Best of luck tomorrow, and we can't wait to watch you. Alan, it's back to you.
thank you.
So again, big thank you to Stephen for delivering that interview. We'll be heading back to the start gate. As you can see, the snow just starting to come again. It's not necessarily overly heavy. And the victory for Bertagnoli. Another victory in his home country. Look at that. That's what it means to the locals. A lot of these guys have done a lot of hours over the past few days. The organisers of the event, jointly with, of course, the IPC, they're forgiven for enjoying a few moments down there with their winner. Here's a look. As Stephen said, everybody was behind that initial first two intermediates because the time from Miroslav Hareus would have been very interesting indeed, but you have to complete the run. It's something that we say over and over again. And Bertagnoli working hard, the legs, following the instructions from Fabrizio, and nice to hear Fabrizio Casal say that that was the best performance they'd done in a couple of years, considering that they've taken world titles and Paralympic titles in that time. So that was good on the Italian duo. As we return to our live pictures of the course once again. Thank you for joining us here on the first day of action at these World Championships in Slovenia. The action completed and done in Kranjska Gora. Now in Slovenia after a delayed start in terms of days. We're unfortunately suffering a few delays to make the course safe during the event as well. So trying to bring you back into the action. There's a slight technical error happening behind the scenes as well. So apologies for that. Again, we'll be moving into the men's standing competition as soon as we can. A technical issue with the timing system, now twinned with the course preparations as well. You can see them still going along with the blue dye. There is a potential that we are nearly good to go. Misawa will go first in the men's standing. Alexis Ruimont, Thomas Fio and Robin Kusch are the opening four to go. And we get into the medal winners from Beijing then. Markus Salka, the bronze for Austria. Switzerland's Theo Rimmer
was the Paralympic champion, not only in the downhill, but he was very good in the Super G in Pyeongchang as well. Christoph Snyder, Braden Luscombe, Mitchell Gawley, and then we're into the magic Arthur Balchet. 2 golds already for the youngster at the World Championships. Is the second half of the World Champs going to be as good as the first? He's certainly been smiling a lot, he's certainly been laughing a lot, he's certainly been winning medals a lot as well. Canadian coaches chatting away to Cory Peterson, keeping themselves warm and watching the action to a finish. Reminder of the start list for the men's event as we wait for those slight delays to come to an end. Masawa, Grimont, Field, Kush, Salka, Himer, Snyder, Luscombe, Gawley and Balchet. James Whitley goes into the next section. Thomas Walsh, Jordan Bossan, Cory Peterson, Martin France, Andrew Harrogate, Davide Bendotti, Conor Hogan, Roger Huig Davy, Spencer Wood and Manuel Bordanks is the final athlete to go in the men's standing. We wait for any of them to go at the moment. Once again, at Para Alpine, all the content outside of the live stream can be found. Exclusive interviews with athletes, pictures, videos, you name it. It's all on those social media channels, Instagram, Twitter and Facebook as well. The start gate is currently empty, which means so too is the course. Gondola is also empty. Well, I'm being told, and there you can see, that we're not far away from being able to restart, which is, I'm sure, music to absolutely everyone's ears, especially those athletes stood at the top waiting to get going. This youngster doesn't care less. Wants an extra 5 minutes throwing snowballs to him. Hiraku Masawa, 31-year-old from Matsumoto. Surprises in the men's standing events. I mean, Hondo. There was one. There's a giant screen down at the finish area. If you wonder why people are instantaneously waving, they can see each other on the screens at the bottom. And away we go. Apologies for the delay. A lot of it for safety reasons. A few technical issues as well. But we are back on course. Excuse the pun, with Hiraku Masawa. And the 31-year-old office worker now living in Chofu. Before him go first, you get to set that quick time. We saw Horeus of Slovakia set the first 2 intermediate times, only to fall pretty much immediately after the second. Sauer, one of our single leg skiers on this course, still alive, 102.95.
02.95.
He now has to wait, so Sauer does what he needs to do. Let's see, Guimont goes next. Velasca's time. He's inside, oh, and down and up. Well, has he maintained it? That is some super work from Alexis Guimond, but how much time will that have cost him? He's almost bounced back into action. You see him taking the aerial route again there. Well, 45.68 is the next intermediate time. If he's still inside, he's done very, very well. In fact, he stretched it. How quick would this have been? Did it speed him up? Guimond keeps on moving. Well, if he gets to the line in one piece here, he might consider that not his smoothest run of all time, but 181, he is inside Hiraku Misawa, and he might breathe a sigh of relief, but a little shake of the head. He knows that he'll have lost time in the grand scheme of things. 19-year-old now has to wait. Thomas Field from Switzerland, 32 years old. We saw earlier plenty of support, and Thomas going wide. He was inside the first intermediate time, tucking back in, trying to make himself as small as possible to regain some speed, but we saw him go wide just a moment ago. Guimond went through here in 44.50 into this left-hand side. This is where the clock ticks. 0.16, nothing, 1600ths of a second, that's all. His opening guys matching each other nicely. Misawa's time was beaten by Guimond. Is Field going to beat Guimond's time? 101.14. No, outside. Alexis Guimond, 101.14, stays at the top. Not that Thomas Field like that.
Robin Kush.
So from Switzerland, so he'll be hearing local Swiss support at the bottom. Should he maintain composure through all of the gates. Hard to take that right-hander. Dropping down again. This is where you are able to gain speed, but you've got to be cautious through here. It's a quick switch to the left, and you can see how hard Robin Kush is having to work. An impaired range of motion means that not every turn is as easy as the one before, but he's gained some time. Rapid through the second section, Robin Kush. Trying to chase down on Guimond then. Into the final turn. 101.14. No, he's outside as well. 0.45, and that goes to show that whilst Guimond had some difficulties in the second section, he was obviously quick in the final part, and again, disappointment etched on the face of both of the Swiss skiers. Salka. .16, this is good already from the Paralympic bronze medalist of Pyeongchang. A 7-year-old with vast experience and medals at both world and Paralympic level. 2 golds at the last World Championships, and he is the reigning champion. We saw the sign earlier. Go, Marcus, go, and he's going. 1 second, 0.05 inside the first or the second intermediate time. But it's Guimond's finishing time that's done the damage so far. 61.14, 101.14. Here comes Salka through the line. Inside the minute, 59.28 for Marcus Salka. The reigning downhill world champion. Looking for a hat trick, won it in 2013 as well.
Marcus Zarca che ha fatto un...
Velasca top. Theo Rimeur, the reigning Paralympic champion, go past the reigning world champion. Couldn't have been set up any better, could it? 22-year-old, third of the Swiss athletes to go. Can he deny the great Austrian? He's 0.14 inside at the first intermediate. But we've seen with dangerous sections of this course, damaging the speed that they'll have gained before, there's every opportunity to drop time into this left-hander. 42.50 was the time by Salka. Looks like it's been evened according to that, so we'll wait for the final time then. Is the only thing we can do. 59.28 from Salka. Oh, this is quick. This is super quick. The Paralympic champion. Great run from Theo Rimeur. He had more difficulty getting out of the course than he had going down it. Christoph Bernhard Schneider. Marcus Salka knocked off top spot. What can Schneider do? 26-year-old. This is a third World Championships, hasn't made it to a Paralympics yet. Is he in good form at World Championships? Well, there's a good line through this section, has to be said. No use of the ski pole in the right hand. He's coming up to the second intermediate. Down on Salka's time here, but this is where the hard work was done by Rimeur. Can he pick up the speed? 58.62. No, it's not going to be. And he's not inside Salka either. He is third, mind you, 1.73 outside of the leader, but he is now your new bronze medal winner. Should it stay like that, Guimond drops off the podium. Guimond has just gone off the podium due to the run of Schneider. Luskin put Canada back on the podium. Six-year-old behind. But again, each of these athletes, range of impairments, will find different parts of the course more or less challenging each other. .6 now the difference. Time separating the top three is 1.73. Can Luscombe come good in this final turn? Anywhere near a minute is good. 1:01.64. It's sixth place for Luscombe.
Sixth place for Braden Lacombe after the arrival line. Mitchell Gawley.
Mitchell Gawley. When a course needs attacking, who do you call? It's Gawley. He's probably the right answer. He knows attacking, and he will give 101% every single time. He's down at the first intermediate. He won't know, he won't care. He's got a lot of course in front of him to try and get quicker. He's a little wide at the gates through that section than some of the previous skiers to go through. Maybe a little loss of time. Gawley 1.74 now. He needs a huge performance, and instead it's a fall from Mitch Gawley. Gawley down and out of the competition, And well, you can see immediately swinging his legs around, and unfortunately for Gourley, he is out of the competition. Seems to be trying to get back to his feet, so by all accounts from what we can see, nothing too major. And here we were, just trying into this bottom section. Just gets airborne, and that spins him round. The back left ski turns him in midair, and Gourley with a second dramatic exit. Oh, what a half-hearted ring of that cowbell that was. There you go, it's Gourley. Get me those skis on, I'm going home. By home, he means just to the bottom. So it's Gourley is out.
Down. Without
to wait and see if there's any other damage than to his pride.
With
Stephen Jameson making a sharp exit from our camera shot a moment ago. This young man, maybe he's the future of skiing. Who knows? We don't even know who's going to win this event. Never mind the future of skiing. The chat continues in the leader box. After Gourley's exit, we again
in the meantime, I want to remember that
slight delay.
Under 50 guests
Going to
from
get
the high school from Poliano,
rectified pretty quickly. Gourley sorted himself out.
That's inside the program.
They are trying to clear the course after Gourley's accident. So switches to Mitchell. Again, as you saw him pick himself up and get going back down. Australians have been in quite a buoyant mood. They are at the table behind broadcasters every evening. And the other evening it was Tory Pendergast's birthday, but when the cake arrived there was an important part of that birthday celebration missing. Tory herself hadn't left the room. At that point she hadn't come down the stairs, so they just gave the cake to the nearest female part of the Australian team. Eventually Tory Pendergast came down and received her birthday cake. A few birthdays on the tour. We mentioned Andrew Kirker in the opening. It was just a couple of days ago that celebrated the birthday as well.
Sport for all. That's
Spencer Wood enjoyed his birthday during the World Cup in Zagreb.
And of course, to the institutions that are helping.
For the Magic Man, it's Arthur Balchet who's just behind the ball to the left.
We are just looking on the monitor.
Just a matter of seconds away. Now this young man has been sensational at these World Championships so far, but that was the part that was in Kranjska Gora, this Small Marines guide, the legend as she calls herself, Bobby. This man is already destined to be classed as a para-alpine legend. Double gold at the last World Championships in both the slalom events. He's done that already. He's back-to-back regained his World Championship title. Has he got a downhill surprise in him as well? He's inside Theo Rimmer at the first intermediate. A little bit scruffy as he came out of that first intermediate time. We've really enjoyed his interviews with Stephen at the finish line when he's been the winner of the last two events. Are we going to see him again, or has the Paralympic champion got a World Championship victory in him as well? 58.62. I think he's going to be behind. He is. It's a podium. It's only 30. You can see the disgust. Walsh, arms raised and thundered towards the ground in rage. And the man that's always smiling in the interview box has been frustrated by Theo Rimeur on this occasion. James Whitley of Great Britain is next up. Podium, by the way, which of course you do. Just over 0.8 of a second separate the top three. It's been tight. Rimeur, Salka and Walsh. At the moment, it's all three of the Paralympic medalists winning World Championship medals as well. The only change is that Salka and Walsh switched positions. So podium will look very similar to Pyeongchang here in Selenovea, unless we have a Ami Hondo style surprise. Thomas Walsh might fancy that. He's going to have to be quick. James Whitley is going before him though. Mum is here. The tour, watching on every day, every race. James gets across the line, 103.12. This is Thomas Walsh.
Thomas Walsh on the slope, USA.
Birthday was yesterday, I believe. Still a second out the first intermediate. He's more than that now, but can the man from Vale find a bit in the bottom? Into the final left-hand turn. Not going to be this time around. It's fifth for now for Tommy Walsh. 60.91. He's delighted with that. He'll take that.
Yes, he looks satisfied, and that is wonderful.
Walsh into fifth. Jourdain Grosjean. Grosjean very wide through parts of that first section. That's left him a whole second behind already. Benjamin coming up to the second timing section, 2:68 down. Five-year-old. He debuted back in 2014. Lining Cup 102.66 puts Jourdain in 10th position. Join the action with Nico Prijancic, another of the Austrians being well supported. Here's the third and final one out of the start gate. Ooh, he just has to hold on there, Prijancic. 21-year-old. 15th place at the downhill last time out in Tarvisio. It was the only event he finished in Pyeongchang, so this would be his favoured. This isn't bad from Prijancic. He gets across the line, 101.32. That puts him in 7th. And this will be by far his best downhill performance if he can finish somewhere around there. Martin France from Slovakia, who
On the
will
slope, Martin France.
look like ending this day without a World Championship goal, which is a rarity for Slovakia. Injury to Henrietta Farkasova, if you didn't tune in earlier on. And then a fall from Miroslav Hreos, whilst going well in the men's VI as well, means that it's the bronze to show for their efforts on this opening day of the second half of the World Championships for Team Slovakia. Their standards are set much higher than that, I can tell you. Outside a minute for France, who's struggled compared to some with this course. Some 6.8 seconds back. That drops him down into the final position so far. He goes behind James Whitley.
Next one, Andrew
Harahay of USA. Andrew getting out on the course. 23-year-old, Hartford, Connecticut. His impairment is cerebral palsy. Already made his debut for the States team 2016. So way back intermediate times. His objective will not be to have won a medal, it will be to have improved, have raced against top caliber athletes, and he's doing just that. 18th at the downhill in Pyeongchang. That was the start of his major competition journey. Gets to the line here with a huge roar.
Good job, guy.
Harahay
Davide
completes his
Bendotti,
World
Italia.
Championship run. This is
In
Davide
partenza, partito in questo
Bendotti.
istante, Davide.
Four-year-old single leg skier involved in a motorcycle accident in 2011, only took up Alpine in 2013. Where can Bendotti place himself in the standings? Towards the line he comes then. 107.29, Bendotti 8.67 seconds back. It's good enough for 15th for Bendotti. Harahay's time leaves him in 16th position. This is Conor Hogan now. 21-year-old. Another whose impairment is cerebral palsy. Lives in Foxborough. Moving steadily down the course.
Good job, guy. The next one is from the athlete from
into the final few athletes then. This is Roger Puig Davi, the only Andorran athlete we have on the course. Hogan's time, by the way, 106.67. That took him to 15, so he's ahead of Bendotti and Harahay. Through the line goes the Andorran then.
Four last athletes for for the man downhill standing, Spencer Wood.
Spencer Wood, as mentioned, another of those that's had to celebrate his birthday on the tour. They had to, they enjoy it. Those athletes that are desperately trying to improve their times and improve their placings in the final standings. How will Spencer Wood do that? .24 seconds back, not bad at all. 15th for Spencer Wood. 1:03.86 is the final time.
Late. The last one will be of the man downhill standing category. Manuel Baudot
is the final of the men's standing athletes. Manuel Bordanks. It's not too far down at the opening intermediate. Are we in for a late shock? Thanks. Going well. Don't know a great deal about Manuel. He's only a second or so back. Is there a big finish for Manuel Bordanks here? This is his first major competition. We saw him in Kranjska Gora. He's going to miss out on top. Oh, he's going to miss out on the medals, but not by much. 5th place. What a performance from Manuel Bordanks. Great effort. Well, you see the right leg amputee, clearly, and he flips up the ski. Oh, nearly the Hollywood finish for Manuel Bordanks. Instead, he missed the catch. Well, Bordanks missing out on a medal. He didn't catch his ski either. It would have looked good, wouldn't it? He is aiming for the Paralympics in 2022. If Bordanks can keep that kind of speed, we might be talking about him differently very soon. But just 3 guys inside the minute mark. Walsh, Salka, Theo Genor. It's the 3 medalists from Pyeongchang that win the medals here. 2nd and 3rd switch around in Walsh and Salka. Nobody can stop the Paralympic champion Theo Genor, who takes this title.
Sicuramente meglio, non è la sua specialità, la discesa libera non è una delle specialità che Davide preferisce. Siamo rimasti all'ultima parte, siamo arrivati all'ultima parte di questa giornata, di questa discesa libera.
Taking the flags home. We're going to take you home in a minute because this is the final event of the session then. The men's downhill sitting. Cory Peterson of New Zealand, the only New Zealander on the tour. Bronze medal winner from Pyeongchang. Again, another event
all'ultima parte di questo mondiale, seguendo le performance dei man downhill sitting. In ein paar Minuten wir werden starten mit der letzten Kategorie, man downhill sitting.
René Di Silvestro. He will be the final runner. Who will be top of the standings by the time we get to the Italian? Well, it's anybody's guess, it really is. Andrew Kirkett, the reigning Paralympic champion, is here. Jeroen Kampscheur, who has, well, set the sit-ski world alight since the last World Championships. He might not have enjoyed Pyeongchang. He still came away with one of the golds. All 5 of those categories shared during the Paralympic Games. You can see a little bit of work taking place on the course, so a little delay before we get started with the men's sitting.
Come vi dicevo, c'è un gran lavoro dietro a queste competizioni, grandi team, tantissime persone che si dedicano alla buona riuscita, alla riuscita eccellente di queste. Ricordo che fra qualche mese ci sarà la finale di Coppa Europa.
Good list of names.
Quindi grandi
But we start with two of the top three from the games. Cory Peterson from New Plymouth in New Zealand.
Non è mai paga di organizzare queste manifestazioni di carattere internazionale. Passiamo qualche istante la linea alla regia per tornare.
The skiers making their way from the mountain. The medal ceremony is actually taking place a good 400 or 500 meters up the road. Theo Rimeux showing us why he is the Paralympic champion. And now world champion as well. And just to go back through those results, just 8/10 of a second separating Rimeux here and Arthur Barchet in third position. So Rimeux, Salka and Barchet will be on the podium a little later in the centre of the town. Again, Cory Peterson, Andrew Kirker, Jesper Pedersen, Sam Tate, Takeshi Suzuki, Akira Kano, Jeroen Kampscheur, Niels de Langen, Taiki Mori, Kurt Oatway. Another of the winners of the gold in Pyeongchang. He took the Super G title. It is an action-packed start, a very talented start to the men's sitting unfortunately, when we do start. Again, apologies for delays here on the course. To keep it safe for everybody, they've had to do a fair amount of work. They're, putting the lines back out again, the die. Skill in itself, isn't it? Just watching that. People texting home, I did all right, I didn't do what I wanted to do. All the opinions will be different. The array of design helmets on show as well. So plenty of action here. How about this though? This was Alexis Guimont in his run a little bit earlier, bib number 28. He went second. He was quicker than Masawa through the opening section. Then take a look at this as he falls completely down, keeps his elbow up and just forces himself back up. There's some superb strength on show from Alexis Guimont, and not only did he go down and get back up again, he then led after that. Look at this, a bit of bell ringing practice. You'll never work in a church, son. Oh, he's got it going. Yeah, it's a bit heavy though, isn't it? There you go, you think it's easy. There's an art form. Certainly is. So we're just about ready. That's Cory Peterson peeking through the hole in the start gate. The New Zealander getting ready. Debuted in
2013. Here he is in his 4th World Championships, the best. He will tell you came back in 2015, 2 golds, 1 in the downhill, 1 in the Super G. So he is not to be ignored when it comes to this event. Silvers after that have followed. 2015 he got another silver, 2 silvers in both the downhill and Super G again in Tarvisio. Has he got a gold medal performance in him this time around? Cory Peterson, plenty of experience, plenty of medals, knows what it's like to be a world champion. He's got silvers and bronze from the last 2 Paralympic Games as well. He is on this list of wants to watch. These mono skis are going to be thrown down. Some serious G-force offered to the bottom of those suspensions, which take up to 6 Gs. And Cory Peterson working every part of his mono ski. We saw the ladies have their go. We saw Tori Pendergast struggling to keep it on course, and now New Zealander Peters thrashing it through the course himself and looking to set that first time. As we mention all the time, the first one to go, if you get over the line, that's half the battle, and he does. Stretches forward, 101.52. It's quick, it's brave, it's adventurous from Cory Peterson. Is it good enough for a medal? Bronze medalist from Pyeongchang. Now meet Velasca, Andrew Kirker, gold medal winner in this very category less than a year ago, right on the other side of the world. Kirker is behind Peters, not the position he found himself in Korea. 27-year-old. Oh, sliding, really working hard to keep inside the gates, but that will be too much time lost and a gate missed, and the Paralympic champion goes out. The reigning world champion goes out. And as I just said, for Cory Peterson, it's about getting down and getting a time. I thought Kirker was done here, but when he got through here, he couldn't turn quick enough, and then once he was airborne, there just wasn't enough course left to make a sharp left turn, and he knew it. And I am sure, absolutely sure, that Andrew Kirker will be furious. Well, the snakeskin apparel on the front of his mono ski slithers out. Jesper Pedersen sneaks onto the course. The Norwegian winner of the giant slalom in Pyeongchang. His own health issues have meant that his season just hasn't got off to the best of starts, but he's been good on the World Cup in Zagreb. He's medalled so far at these World Champs behind Camp Steur. Has he got something to get on the podium this time around? He wasn't on the podium in Pyeongchang in this event, nor with the Super G as well. Was behind Peters. He's gone further than Kirker. Big Manchester United fan. Jesper Pedersen. Wearing one of the blue away shirts at dinner the other night, much to the disapproval of a few. But Pedersen is motoring. He is behind Peters though, to the line. And Cory Peterson, it looked quick, it felt quick, it was quick. Pedersen trails.
With number
Sam Tate. All the hearts were in the mouths during the training run. Tate absolutely nailing through some of the safety nets in his training run. He won't attack this course any differently. He just won't have done the bottom half as much as he would have liked. Just 0.18 outside of the New Zealand. Australia will be cheering him on. Tate survives this time around. So from here on in, it's about chasing down that time. 44.17 was the time. Oh, just 0.25 here. Is Sam Tate going for medals here? 27-year-old from Sydney. Nothing higher than a 17th in Pyeongchang. Sorry, an 11th in the downhill in Pyeongchang. 101.52. Oh, he's just outside. 102.5. There's some big hitters to come, and that's a great performance from Tate. He's happy with that.
With 99 cents.
Yes, he says. Now, Takeshi Suzuki. Year-old from Fukushima. Very experienced, former Paralympic winner back in 2014 in the slalom. He's inside Peters in the opening section. Slalom winner on 3 occasions at World Championship level. Downhill, not necessarily his cup of tea, but he's having a heck of a go. He was inside Peters, he's still inside Peters. Kano, Kampsler, De Langen, Mori and Oatway to come, but we've seen people struggle. The Paralympic champion has gone. The door is ajar. A new world champion we will have. Will it be Suzuki? He does lead. 60.87 from Takeshi Suzuki. It's good.
Japan.
The chainmail fronting.
Good job, guy. Wonderful.
Can he hold on to that top spot? He will certainly hope so.
Another Japanese on the slope now. We are about
Japanese athlete in first position. Japanese athlete sits in second after the first intermediate. 32-year-old. Just a couple of years separating he. Oh, and the leader, but now down goes Akira Kano. And he has to wait to come to an end. Well, Kano is fine. You can just see him adjusting his glasses. You can see him looking up. He'll be hoping to be reunited with the singular ski. Front end of the mono ski. Well, look at that, like a homing beacon. Straight back to the owner. Here's just what happened coming into this right-hander, spinning away. It looked dramatic here. He tumbles over and over, but you see him tuck his arms in. He's not an inexperienced sit skier by any means. And, there you go. Well, out goes Kano, which means Suzuki stays top. It also means a little bit of repair will be needed, so unfortunately we'll have another one of these dreaded delays, but it's just part of the sport.
Raggiungere il traguardo con mezzi propri, mi sembra, non vorrei sbagliare, non vorrei essere precipitoso, ma dalle immagini dovremmo capire che
at the bottom. Here, just another look at the dramatic crash from Akira Kano just a few moments ago. He did appear to be fine. And it's the long slide of misery that the mono skier has to go through. Well, the single ski being returned, and there's a shot of the current leader.
Intanto Takeshi Suzuki
Stay there. He's got
leader's
and
corner.
Capture to come next. So if you were
Ha fatto veramente
enjoying the quick speeds
un'ottima gara fino a
of
questo
the
momento.
monoskiers a moment ago, it won't get any slower. Niels de Langen to follow. So the two Dutch
Mancano
lads going next to each other. The delay is because of the running repairs here. Once they get the ski back on, I think Akira will go down on his own. He will. Off he goes to the side. So second of the two Japanese athletes going off, which means that Takeshi Suzuki continues to lead the way. See the advertising from Slovenia, of course, part of this World Championships, jointly hosting it with Selenovia here. You see the camera guys working hard. Well, there's Kano making his way down the side. That means we will be closing in on action. Again, just the repairs being needed to make. It was an almighty spill from Kano. Again, Jeroen Kampshore still to come, which means that, well, in the form that Jeroen is in, nobody's time is safe, but the course, well, that might be the decider. That might be the equaliser. Takeshi Suzuki has his time. Yeah. There's the referee. The boss, that's Anya on the right-hand side. Chatting away to a few of the coaches. And there is the leader. He's he's fidgety. He's nervous, and that's understandable. Somebody that won't be fidgety and nervous will be this young man, Jeroen Kampster, just 19, from Leeuwarden in the Netherlands. He knows what it's like to be a world champion. He knows what it's like to be a Paralympic champion. And it says a lot about the youngster that it wasn't enough for him to win one world championship gold. He wanted more. He took 3. He was certainly disappointed to only take 1 Paralympic gold. He is young. He has plenty of time. He's got plenty of ability. I'm sure those in Beijing will be watching for him. Giant slalom in the super combined for his best events in Tarvisio. He's got the 2 slaloms tucked away neatly. Super combined still to come. Has he got a surprise in the downhill? He's certainly thrown himself into that second section. He's gone from 0.2 down to 1.26 ahead. What a second section this is from the young Dutchman. Can he keep that momentum? Can he keep finding the right line? 60.87 to beat. He's going to be inside. 58.81. It's good from Kranjska. Oh, and he is delighted with that. Well, I was starting to think that the Sitski in the men's division was always wide open. But Jeroen Kranjska has just set a target that might just be too quick. Niels de Lange is next up. De Lange snatching a medal in Kranjska Gora. 20-year-old. Got a medal in the last World Champs in the slalom. So a medal now from this World Champs. Can he go one better? Didn't find his medal-winning runs in Pyeongchang. Oh, and he's going to slide out here as well. And his downhill is done. Oh, de Lange wasn't moving badly at all. Take a look back here. Comes into this right-hander, trying to set himself for the left. Just hits a bump. And that's the cruel world of the monoski. Down he goes. It's again nothing that looks like it's caused any serious damage, and de Lange slides out to the side. Australian teams waiting on. It's, Patrick Jensen, his guy tally offered a moment ago.
As I said before,
Jameson chatting with somebody that he's been chatting with quite a lot in these World Championships. Will Jeroen be there again come the end? He's certainly taking a few pats on the back. Now, Taiki Mori, silver medal winner in Pyeongchang, is still to come. Kurt Oatway, winner of the Super G in Pyeongchang, still to come. So plenty athletes with ability are left. The 8-year-old Kibori is the next one. Niels de Lange making his way down to the bottom. So at the moment, Netherlands, Japan, New Zealand is how it reads.
in the meantime,
Just see the front of Taiki Mori's ski on the left-hand side. Well, that's the New Zealander. He's got bronze at the moment. Can he hang on to it is the burning question that will be going through him at the moment. He was sat with Sam Tate. Tate in fourth position. Much better performance from Tate than I've seen in recent times, and a far higher finish is on the offing for him. Far behind Peters, less than a second actually. But that time from Kranjska, 2 seconds clear of Suzuki. Andrew Kirker, well, he can raise a smile. I'm sure that's not exactly how he feels. Jesper Pedersen as well. Those two won't medal this time out. Difficulties for Pedersen, even bigger difficulties for Andrew Kirker. Sliding out. So 2 Paralympic champions sat next to each other. They're watching on as Jeroen Kranjska is sewing up the medal bag in these World Championships. Can he take them up? Mori just being held. The 2 Dutch lads having a chat. I'm sure Niels de Lange is nowhere near as buoyant as Jeroen Kranjska. 30 seconds seconds away or so from getting back on track. He's also in training to compete as a powerlifter. He's Taiki Mori, so wanting to go to a summer games for a change. His aim, I think, towards retirement is to represent Japan in Tokyo at powerlifting, compete in Beijing 2022 in sit skiing. I think at that point he would be into his 40s. That might just do for the illustrious career of Taiki Mori, former world champion of giant slalom. Former world champion at Super G. Silver from the Super Combined in Tarvisio. Shows you that he's still got it. He's still a contender. That's 0.34 outside. Not too bad at the moment. A medal would be 2.7 seconds exactly inside Kampstur, but he's dropped time in a big way through the second section, and that's where Kampstur was quickest. For a medal, he wants 101.51. Turning into the final bend, he won't get that. 102.28. So it's Netherlands, Japan, New Zealand, Japan. He's in front of Sam Tate. Japan will only get one medal if it stays this way. Kurt Oatway, bib number 57, belongs to the Canadian. 34-year-old from Edmonton. Pushing it hard in this opening section, just 8 100ths outside of Suzuki's quick first intermediate, but this second was where Kampstur really did the damage. He was super quick. Look at the snow forced off the circuit by Oatway. And again, just leaving the trail behind him. 42.27 through this section for Kampstur. Nowhere near from Oatway. That's how quick this was from Kampstur. .58.81. Has Oatway done enough? In towards the turn. Oh, he's outside.
Second place.
59.44 into second. Well, I thought he was quick. The intermediate stopped working. I thought he was well outside for a moment. Then I realised where he was on the course. And Kurt Oatway has blasted himself onto the podium. It's second. Next up, Nicholas Bisker Hudson, 20 years of age, from Chile. Accident in 2012 involving a motorcycle. Got back into sport. First port of call was tennis. Got a recommendation to try this, and he's at the World Championships. He's been to a Paralympic Games. He was 13th in the downhill there. This will be about a good finish. Oh, and that's a big, big tumble for Nicholas Bisker Hudson. Well, it's a big, big tumble. We can't quite see behind the boards, but the monoski has certainly been retrieved. Wait and see. Well, we're hoping that he's okay. Big tumble from Chilean. Wait for reports as to how he is in a few moments' time. Now the weather's closing in again. The snow has got a little bit heavier now at the bottom, and the visibility towards the top has certainly got a little bit worse. So let's go and hear from Stephen Jameson.
Joy by our preliminary at the moment, still got some skiers to come, world champion, your own Kranjska. What a ski that was from yourself. Talk us through it a little bit. How did you feel as you were making your way down?
This is the most unexpected medal I ever got, probably. There's of course a couple of skiers coming. Man, there was a technical downhill. It was bumpy. It was a hard course, but I managed to really get on the edge and yeah, get everything out.
Yeah, you seem to spend half of your time going down the hill sideways. Is that what you're talking about, being able to really dig in and get around those corners quick?
Yeah, exactly. You know, I like to make the big corners. That's why I'm a technical skier. And slalom and giant slalom, it's really with your butt this far off the ground. And this was a downhill where that was, you know, fast. And there was, yeah, I'm happy with that, of course. And especially, you know, because I did everything I wanted to do, and my plan was to ski like this, and it worked. And I had a super fast ski. My technician, thank you, Rock. Thank you for the super fast ski. Yeah.
Are you almost viewing this one as a bonus coming into this competition? Obviously, I know you look to win every single race, but looking to defend those 3 titles from Tarvisio, and do you almost see this as an added extra?
Well, I didn't expect this, you know. If I started this World Champs, like, okay, I got to defend my 3 titles, and the rest we'll see. But yeah, man, this is awesome. And we trained a couple of speed weeks this season, so I think we have longer skis now, and really, you know, managed to be better at speed, because we were always technical skiers. All the Dutch are all technical, and now to have a medal in the downhill, it's my first medal. I never won a World Cup or whatever in the downhill, but super happy.
And talk to me a little bit about how difficult it is for you guys on a downhill, on a course like this, skiing on one ski. How difficult is that to manage going at this sort of pace that you are?
Well, it's mostly like you shouldn't be afraid. You know, the fear is the biggest thing. You should overcome your fear, because sometimes it's super sketchy. I go straight to a gate, and then you know, like, oh, I'm not gonna brake, I'm just gonna go. But you know, the risk is that you crash hard, and it happened a couple of times this competition as well. So yeah, that's the big risk, but that's also the big rush. Yeah.
And that's the big reward as well. You've done it again, number 3. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Alan, it's back to you.
Okay, so just while that interview was going on, you saw the pictures of the stretcher coming down. My understanding is that stretcher was with Nicholas Biscayne-Hudson inside. So again, hoping that is nothing too serious. Was a heck of a fall. We're not going to show you that again, but a big tumble from Chile's Nicholas Biscayne-Hudson. Well, some of the flags have been moved away from where they were, and the Poland flag being held, because the next out will be Igor Sikorski. The kids themselves enjoying it, quite rightly so. There's World Championship action right on their doorstep. There's not a great deal here in Salanovea. I found a pizzeria, as would be expected. But, I believe there's a main shop. It's a very small place. It's around about 40 minutes away, perhaps a little bit less, to Tarvisio, the host of the last World Championships. And well, we nearly had another one for the highlights reel there, didn't we? Again, just a little maintenance being done after that fall from Hudson. Is he asleep on his feet? We're all thinking it. No, I don't think he is. The Japanese team Japanese team enjoying themselves at the bottom, waiting on at the moment. They've got a bronze. Takeshi Suzuki matching Ami Hondo from a little bit earlier on. Maybe the surprise story of the lot. But here, Kampstra, no surprise to see him at the top. But as he said, that's his first major event medal in downhill. Did say that he's come into this very, very confident. Sam Tate dropping down to 6th at the moment. He's just showing some messages to his teammates. Sikorsky, Bambusek, Floris Meyer, Alex Cairns, Ali Velasquez, Murat Peli, and Rini Di Silvestro still to come. Again, if you just coming to us, another delay due to a DNF, a spectacular one from Nicholas Visca Hudson. It has meant that he has been stretchered from the slopes. And again, we give our best wishes. We started the day pretty much like that, didn't we? Henrietta Fakasova with a somewhat innocuous ending to her run. Oh, Stephen Jameson's grabbed someone else to talk to him. Let's go and find out who that is.
Yeah, joined here by Kurt Otway of Canada. Kurt, first of all, how do you look back on your ski today? How did you find it?
Well, last week, weather's been garbage and, canceled races, only getting inspections, knee-deep snow. We pulled off 2 runs today, a training run and a race back-to-back, which is a little abnormal, but it needed to be done. And unfortunately, in the warm-up, in the training run, I had a bad line choice and missed 3 gates. Was not a feel-good run by any stretch, and I played it safe during the race, and that's probably what kind of cost me a little bit. There's definitely more time out on the course for sure, but happy with 2nd place, and hopefully I can do something tomorrow in the Super G.
How is the course skiing for you guys? Because I know obviously as mono skiers it's automatically a little bit more dangerous for you on the way downhill. The course has been under a lot of sort of scrutiny this week. Everyone's tried it round the clock to get it going. How's it feeling under your ski?
It wasn't too bad. Everybody's kind of got a different setup as far as monoskis go. Mine's pretty good for speed. I was told it was bumpy in a few sections, and I was just ready for those spots, and it kind of didn't really feel too bad for the most part. Shock was able to do its job.
And how pleased you just to be out and racing? As we say, I've had a lot of cancellations in the last week. How nice is it just to be actually out on the slope and out skiing?
It's great to be out racing again. It's you get a little cabin fever when you're just stuck inside all day. It's dumping, and you can't go out and ski. You can't even go powder skiing because you're trying to save yourself for the race. And it's really a good thing that we were able to get these races off.
And silver today, you mentioned you feel like you've got more time on the slope to cut out. Is that the goal for the next 2 skis?
Yeah, definitely. So just kind of take this little bit of confidence and try to build on it.
I wish you all the very best of luck for the next couple of skis. Thanks for talking to us.
Thanks.
Alan, it's back to you.
Yeah, Kurt Otway, interesting there. He feels like there's a little bit of time to make on this course. Well, we have been talking to gold and silver as it stands. Igor Sikorsky might throw a spanner into those conversations, but the start lists are ranked, so it tends to be those in the upper part are the expectants to pick up the medals. So if you're new to skiing, you're wondering why we're already having chats, but we're not used to a shock. It can happen. Surprises are part of sport. No surprise, we've got a delay here. It's been one of those days, sadly. Snow coming again. We have only got 7 sit skiers to go before we complete our day.
So again, Stephen's down there. We are still having some running repairs being made. So Stephen is finding his friends. Hasn't got many, so he's chatting to as many as he's got. Here he is.
Okay, joined by Cory Peterson. Guys, doing great work for the Kiwi-Aussie relations here, I know, but how is the skiing for you guys? I've seen a lot of DNS from various different classes. How was it out there for you today?
It's basically just hold on and go for it. Like, it's bumpy as running, well, in the 50s, and it's just, you just got to go for it and hopefully get down.
And you managed to do that? Your teammates all seemed very happy. I know you had a couple of crashes in the Aussie team. How's the morale in the camp there?
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. Aussies are pretty chilled out, so we're pretty good. Yeah, we had a few crashes, which is like, I just watched Mitch's crash and it was pretty huge. So it's good to just get down and get the Aussies on the board.
And for yourself, Cory, I know you were really pleased with your time. Spent a little bit of time in the leader box as well, which you weren't necessarily expecting, I know. How did you find it?
Yeah, obviously, like Sam said, it's pretty bumpy out there. You know, we got 50 centimetres a few days ago, so it was pretty much to be expected. And like, yeah, you just had to hold on. It was super bumpy. Just re-watching my run, it was, yeah, I think my suspension's not the best setup that it could be. But we'll go back to the drawing board and hopefully try and, you know, fix it.
Well, you seem to spend more time in the air than you actually did on the snow. Was that because of your suspension, as you say?
Yeah, exactly, suspension setup. So yeah, maybe I need to try and get somebody on the mountain with me. Anybody out there?
Well, you can absolutely use this platform to pitch. We don't mind that. How excited are you for the next two runs? Obviously, it's great to get some skiing done full stop today. I know it's been a long day for everyone, but how pleased are you just to get out on the mountain after a couple of sort of very relaxing days of doing pretty much nothing?
Yeah, no, it's been good. It's been, 2 or 3 days of just sitting around in the hotel, sort of hoping to get the race off. So thankfully we could get it off, and we, you know, managed to get a downhill world champion. Unfortunately, it wasn't me, but I got the chocolate fish in fourth at the moment, so hopefully they give out chocolate fish for fourth.
I certainly hope so, and if they do, I'll be getting to share some, hopefully. That'd be great. Guys, thanks so much for joining us. Best of luck for the next 2 days. Alan, it's back to you.
There you are, the Australians and the New Zealanders getting along very nicely indeed. Stephen just having a chat with Sam Tate in 6th position, Cory Peterson in 4th. As he mentioned, he could have been on the podium. Good performance from Whitley has knocked him off, and he went ahead of Takeshi Suzuki. We've had Akira Kano go off. We've had Niels de Langen go off. Nicholas Biscayne-Hudson, complications as well. You can see a rather dejected Jesper Pedersen at the back of that shot, just next to the Switzerland flag. Again, we will try and bring in the action as quickly as possible.
Ik kan niet zo makkelijk lopen als dat zou kunnen.
Dutch team together. Smile on the left from Jeroen Kampschroer. Not so much from Niels de Langen on the right-hand side of that shot a moment ago. You see the snow still coming. There's the start gate. At the moment, as it has for large periods today, and we apologise for those delays, but the safety of the athletes means that course repairs have had to be rather frequent. Means we've had to keep this youngster out longer than we probably would have wanted to.
Yeah, if we can, that'd be brilliant. If that's okay.
The waving continues. Sadly, the waiting continues, but again, apologies from all of us involved. We are desperately working behind the scenes to get the final few athletes out. It's hard for the athletes as well. Igor Sikorsky has been the next to go for quite a while now. It happened to Kelly Gallagher a little bit earlier on as well in the women's VI. You see the visibility in the periphery is disappearing. So it shows you the elements that are being fought against. The battle to get this first day has just about been won. It'll be a big cheer, I'm sure, later on back in the hotel during the dinner for everybody who will have put in an effort to get this first day up and running. It's felt a little bit like that man there, an uphill struggle. Stephen Jameson's going to have a chat with some of the people that have been out in the snow watching the athletes. Let's see what they've got to say, shall we?
Yeah, thank you very much, Emma. We've spoken to some skiers, but out in the crowd as well. This is Peter. He's responsible partly for some of the noise that's been generated around these parts. He's brought a load of Polish school children along with him. Peter, from Poland, how much are you enjoying your day?
Very well. Really nice day, beautiful weather. Now it's a little bit snowing, but let's say in the morning it was sunny, beautiful.
And talk to me a little bit about these kids. They look like they're having a great time. Is that what you're being told?
Absolutely great time. This is a group of young swimmers. It's a kind of winter camp, let's say. So they are having fun, don't have to swim, because it's also hard work. Yeah, so they don't have to train swimming. They can, let's say, train skiing now. Yeah.
I mean, do you reckon we've got any young skiers? Are they taking inspiration from the guys out there on the slope?
Absolutely, yes. Yesterday we had a meeting with Polish guy Igor
Sikorsky, the sit skier.
Yes, he's brilliant, really. He told us the whole story about himself, about how he started to train. What are his, let's say, what is maybe rank, it's a bad word, but how does it work? Anyway, it was a kind of motivation story for all this young.
Well, thank you so much for speaking to us. We hope you guys enjoy the rest of the competition.
Thank you.
And yeah,
Igor is just starting. So.
Yeah, we can't wait to watch Igor. We'll let you guys go and watch him. Alan, back to you.
So, hope is that Igor Sikorsky is going to be out fairly soon, but I can't guarantee you that. All the medical teams just getting back into the right place. Once they come down, they've got to get back up again, haven't they, of course? So that's one of those weights. It's about as heavy as it's been, to be fair, to the snow today. As you can imagine, it would have been a lot heavier and a lot more earlier on. There's all the Polish kids from earlier on that Stephen was on about, been brought here to watch on. Even Spider-Man's here. Other superheroes are available. See these two just passing the time, and all of a sudden wobbling skis become quite fun, don't they? Again, the instructions I have is that we're just awaiting the medical teams to return to their positions on the course. We can't go without them, so that indeed has to happen. Jesper Pedersen having a bit of a giggle with one of the IPC reporters. See the height of the snow that's fallen only in the few days after we arrived. Mr. Langen looking on, thinking about what would have been. Oh, they're still excited, aren't they? Oh, we're just a matter of seconds away from Igor Sikorsky getting today's action back up and going. Once again, if you want to follow any of the social media channels, at Paralpine is what you need. Back on the slopes is what we needed. And Igor Sikorsky gives us just that. The 28-year-old, originally born in Germany, lives in Krakow now. Another that's got medal history at World Championships, but in the slalom, second position in Tarvisio, a bronze, the giant slalom in Pyeongchang. Oh, and out slides Sikorsky, and he gets spun around rather badly as well. And let's hope that he's okay. I think just might have taken a little whack to the head. He's rubbed it a couple of times. Well, face full of snow for Sikorsky as he makes his way down. Here he comes again. Yep, just trying to turn sharp, but if you're not in the right line, you hit a patch that nobody else has set for you, and away you go. Down he went. Looked like it might have hurt his head a little bit, but Sikorsky is already up onto his singular ski and making his way down. All the kids will be disappointed. They've waited and waited and waited for Igor Sikorsky. And that is the cruel lesson about sport. Well, I'm sure once he gets to the bottom, they'll give him a huge cheer. He's just appeared in their eye line at the top of the final drop. Here he is, Igor Sikorsky. And those kids that have been waiting for him, I'm sure he'll go over. And there is a huge cheer at the bottom. I can hear that outside of my commentary position. Sikorsky coming down, not the way he would have wanted. And spraying snow everywhere. Well, know how he feels physically. His face is full of snow. Sikorsky, look at that, a hero's greeting. That's the loudest cheer he'll have had for a crash, I'm pretty sure, in his career. But look at that, here he is. Well, there you go. You want a lesson about sport? It isn't always about winning, is it? Look at that, these kids are loving it. You're pretty guaranteed one of those kids has just asked him if that hurt. That's the nature of children, isn't it? Well, the Sikorsky fan club has its moment with him. Great moments as well they are. You'd think he'd won, wouldn't you? Look at that crowd. You heard the message from Cory Peterson. Does anybody want to come along and help him out on the tour? He'd love a wingman or a wingwoman. I don't suppose he matters. There's somebody to help him. This is Pavel Bambusek. We are back on course. 34-year-old from Prague. Fell from a bridge as a 17-year-old. Cause of his impairment. Oh, and he's sliding out here by the looks of it. Desperately trying to go again. It's so hard from this position. Can Bambusek keep it going? Nope, nope. It's off to the side, and the former para-golfer has dropped a shot. Oh, he just slides out, doesn't he? Nothing quite as dramatic as Biscayne Hudson or Akira Kano, but just as devastating for Bambusek. Well, the third of the Dutch contingent. They've got one home in top spot and one out. And Floris Meyer finds something to pull a medal from the hat. Much more experienced than De Langen and Kampschler. 10 years the senior. 29-year-old. Involved in a freestyle skiing accident, in 2012. And now here he is, back doing a sport that he loves and hasn't fallen out of love with despite the accident. Certainly back in 2012, so his aim is to develop and get quicker and maybe match Kampschler and De Langen. Oh, really driving into a tough spot there. He's still going, he's through the second intermediate. He's outside a top three finish here. He'll be bottom of the pile as it would be. And Meyer completes his run. So the Dutch have two home and one out as their final standing. So this is number 63. This is Ali Velasca, Mexican, making his way down. Time from Meyer did leave him in 8th. 30-year-old from Cancun. Home is Mexico City. He's held on to that corner better than some. Far outside of that first intermediate. Oh, and Velasquez goes down. Well, the nets are wobbling. The weather having its way with the signal for a moment. But Velasquez, somewhere down this side, is out. Well, Ali Velasquez was coming down at some speed. He wasn't doing badly at all. He was only around about a second or so outside of Jeroen Kampschler's first intermediate time. Sadly for the Mexican, he is spun out. Plenty of people hanging on. My understanding is that Rene Di Silvestro has withdrawn along with Alex Kern, so we are down to just one final athlete. Murat Pelli of Switzerland had a broken arm towards the end of the last World Cup campaign. Made it to Pyeongchang, did Murat, but wasn't able to compete as perhaps he would have liked. A 16th and a 13th over in Pyeongchang. The bell has been ringing throughout. The horn blower is with us.
Medal ceremonies again being held in the centre of Selenovair, so just a little journey up the road to be made by everybody once it's all finished. It's not all finished. We still have Murat Beli to come, and waiting for an update on Ali Velasquez. Well, the Polish kids that were here to watch Sikorsky, they stuck around for a long time, only for Sikorsky to DNF, but he was good enough to go down and see them all. So our understanding is that sort of 3/4 of the way down the right-hand side, Velasquez came to a halt down there. We're hoping that everything's okay. We unfortunately can't get sight of that at the moment. There's a bit of waving from a distance. They've obviously spotted themselves. I know they're on a camera, so lots of waving over there. Several coaches. And there is a slight delay with Ali Velasquez, but he doesn't need full-on medical attention. I think he's got a little cut from his fall, so they're just dealing with that. Time to lean, time to clean, is what they say. At the moment, Jeroen Kampschler leads the way. 58.81 from Kurt Oatway, 59.44 and Takeshi Suzuki, 60.87. That's the top three. Cory Peterson sits in 4th position. Behind him is Taiki Mori, Sam Tate, Jesper Pedersen, and Floris Meyer is the complete lineup so far, with just one to come. Murat Beli of Switzerland could affect that standing. There you see Andrew Kirker went out, the Paralympic champion, the reigning world champion, down and gone. Kurt Oatway, a Paralympic champion of the Super G, has found himself in 2nd. Cory Peterson, bronze in Pyeongchang, said that he felt maybe the suspension wasn't set up just right, and that means he sits in 4th position. Maury, Tate, Pedersen and Floris Meyer are the only ones to have finished as well. Again, the medics getting themselves back into position. The majority of the course is empty. A lot of athletes at the bottom starting to make their way up. Just outside of my window, a few of the athletes making their way towards the medal presentation area in the town. But we'll stay with you until the final run is done. We are just one runner away from the climax of our first day in Selenovair. The weather might be problematic going forward. There is Ali Velasquez, who's just getting checked upon. And we're understanding that Murat Beli has decided not to run. So we can get the results then. Murat Beli has decided that he does not want to run here on the mountain. And it means that Jeroen Kampschler makes it 3,
from 3. Some of our athletes are proving just too good. Marie Boucher looks fantastic. Jeroen Kampschreur keeps his 100% record going as well. A fair few DNFs, a fair few DNSs. Lenz sitting didn't fare too well, did it? Including the Paralympic champion, of course, Andrew Kirker, unable to get down the course. If the Paralympic champion can't do it, there's no shame in not finishing for the others as well. Okay, so that does indeed complete our first day of World Championship action here from Selenavir. If you want more coverage, the interview should be uploaded onto all of the social media channels. At Alpine is where you need to be for that. From myself, Alan Martin, the rest of the team, we are fingers crossed that we'll be back with you tomorrow. We'll see you then.